The three words that I would use to describe Tiffany are incredibly knowledgeable about the EOS system, amazing facilitator, and I think most importantly, very empathetic to everyone's individual situations. Some of the challenges that we were having prior to the implementation of EOS that affected me personally are really on my time. As a CEO and owner of the organization, my job is to really steer the company and direct it towards growth or our eventual equity event. And I was heavily involved, unfortunately, in the day-to-day operations of the business. And without a really good management structure in place, it was very difficult for me to pull myself out of the company and focus on really what I need to be doing, and instead of managing the day-to-day operations. Once we've implemented EOS, there was a radical change in the levels of accountability throughout the whole organization, as well as allowing me just to focus on a couple of particular key areas that need to be focused on at the time, and then preparing, of course, for the future. So the biggest thing for us, and this really just happened, is we went through a pretty significant reduction in monthly income. Our accounts receivable just ballooned up, and we had to make some incredibly difficult choices and move quickly. And we did that. With EOS, we were able to come up with a plan and roll out the plan, including, unfortunately, 20 to 30% staff reduction, as well as about a 30% reduction in other expenses. And we did that in 7 days. And that was all because of EOS. The difference between Asana Recovery now versus prior to us having implemented EOS is really seen in the leadership team and the leadership level, directors and the executive team. Everyone in that, in that tier and above was very involved in the rollout of EOS, as well as now in the implementation and using it. And the weekly leadership level 10 meetings that we have are probably the most important, hands down, they are the most important meeting of the week for every single person in that in those meetings. The meetings are done, prior to EOS, there was a lot of conflict between my partner and I, who is also my brother, and it was very difficult for the rest of the company to be heard kind of over our opinions. What's nice about the EOS meetings is that it gives everybody a chance to participate. It gives everyone a chance to take actual ownership of particular tasks, responsibilities, departments, and then report on those, and then come to the group for advice. So this way, my brother and I are not constantly, stepping over each other, trying to provide input and ideas for this department, for that department, and it's really become a much more harmonious organization, and especially, the relationship between my brother and I, and I feel the relationship for the whole company as a whole, because now we're all in line with the core values. And the core values are something that we also use on a very regular basis in hiring and assessing staff, and making sure that the people that are on the team are adhering to those core values. And that has been something that's great to be able to use in the HR environment when you are analyzing and you have to unfortunately go through maybe some reductions and stuff. It's a very useful tool in being able to identify the proper people to put in the right places.